When I was a young student in yeshiva, Rabbi Adin Even-Yisrael Steinsaltz was visiting that city on a lecture series, and as was his custom, he'd like to visit the local yeshiva to meet the students, mentor them, farbring with them, and so he was scheduled to come to our yeshiva for a farbring in one evening. We were very excited to meet this giant of a person, this renowned scholar. He wasn't a giant, he was a very small person. Anyhow, we prepared for the farbring, and we prepared lots of food and set up a large table. And finally, he walked into the room. We were just enamored to be sitting in his presence. And we were singing many lively nigunim and making l'chaims. And finally, the room fell quiet. It was his turn to speak. What's he going to say? He said, "My dear friends, I want to ask you a question. Does anybody in this room right now own a Borsalino hat?" Now, for those of you unfamiliar with the fedora hat world, the Borsalino is the Rolls Royce of hats. There are many kinds of hats, but the Borsalino is the most expensive and perhaps the most beautiful. Many of us did own Borsalino hats, but we were too afraid to admit that we did, because we were students claiming to be in pursuit of a higher spiritual path, of higher moral values and truths, and we were not concerned with the petty delights of physicality in this world, so none of us raised our hands. Until finally one student raised his hand, and we said to ourselves, "Oh boy, he's in trouble now." Rabbi Steinsaltz then said, "First of all, I think there's a lot of dishonest people in this room right now," which he was right. And then he turned to that student and he said, "I'm so happy you raised your hand." He was complimenting him. And he explained, "Because I can see that you're a person who appreciates the finer things in life. You appreciate a quality product. And so now I can try to share and explain to you why Jewish tradition and Jewish spirituality and Jewish faith is of the most quality product you'll ever find." That evening, as a young student, Rabbi Steinsaltz taught me something so deep and profound. Many people will approach religion or spirituality from places of weakness, of fear, looking for a comfort, some kind of convenience. And Rabbi Steinsaltz taught us, always make these pursuits from a place of strength. In life, look for the most enriching, the most meaningful, the most truthful path in life. And if you look hard enough and truthfully enough, you will discover that the Jewish tradition and the Torah and Jewish spirituality will provide you the answers that you seek. Rabbi Steinsaltz sadly passed away earlier today in Israel. He was a giant of a person. He taught so much to so many. And I want to thank him for his wisdom, for his scholarship, for his sharp wit, and for his great kindness. Shabbat Shalom.